Well, it's our pleasure to be joined by our next guest. He's now the St Kilda coach again, and he's been good enough to jump on and have a chat. Ross Lyon is his name. Ross, thanks for joining us.
No, pleasure, Kane, Gerard.
How have you settled in?
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable, to be truthful. It was like a bit of a whirlwind, obviously some nerves and some anxiety and some excitement, but really to get in there and just experience everything again, it's been really thoroughly enjoyable. It's been exciting. Put together, I'm really thrilled with my coaching panel, to be honest, and the experience of Jeff Walsh to steer the football department was really settling, and a couple of key appointments with David Misson overseeing the high performance, which is an important role as a conduit to the coaching staff, and like Harry Taylor did at Geelong, it's a really important role. And the cultural piece by Dr. Sean Richardson, clinical psych and sports psych who does the cultural piece. So, I'm feeling we've put a good team in, and the players are. We had the time trials and skin folds as a basic measure, and look, there was no real disappointments in there. They come back, in pretty good shape overall, but we've just got to get the intensity and the density of work into them now.
You wouldn't be able to recognise the facility at Moorabbin, would you?
No. Well, I think it was Disneyland, wasn't it, at Moorabbin? So, look, we did operate out of a condemned building, to be honest, but I suppose what that highlights is, look, we had a gym. They had change rooms, and we had a projector and some seats, but we had a really good footy oval. So, but what we had was a very capable list and a system we played to. So it just highlights that you can have all of that, but you fundamentally need great capability and system and effort.
Well, you didn't get reminded. It didn't take too long to be reminded of the brutal nature of coaching when your best young player went down, Ross. I mean, how heartbreaking was it to see Max go down with a shoulder injury, and what does it mean for your structure and the way you're going to set up?
Yeah, look, it's really disappointing. First and foremost for Max and our supporters, because, look, I didn't know much about Max at all, really, except from the outside. I come in and he really impressed me early. I don't say that lightly. His desire to improve and do the work and become, what everyone wants to do is become a great player and be part of a great team. So in a short period, he impressed me. Look, he went down, and as Nick Dalsena, how did that happen, Ross? Under your watch, first day back, because I'm reluctant on the contest sort of work pre-season, particularly before Christmas. But it was just one of those freak events in a bit of a marking contest. So look, you're wearing it, and to be honest, it was a bit of a sign of my maturity, because I probably would have blown up and gone off in the past and been on a witch hunt, really. But I was able to let it go. Spoke about the opportunity to the group and the need for everyone just to, display their footy character here and dig in. Like, what is it, maybe 6-7 weeks? And I just see it as an opportunity. Cooper Sharman's come back, improved his running, put weight on, and so there's an opportunity for him and Tim Membry. And I think, at the end of the day, I went through with Nick Rewald. We spoke about, a different group, but how they dropped their bundle for a few weeks. And so that experience, dropped in straight away. I said, look, I've been through this before. You can either drop your bundle and think, and look, really in the commentary, I think you'll quote about they can't play finals. And that's the normal human reaction. But, high performers go, well, let's double down on our effort and work really hard and create an opportunity, and sort of display our footy character to the world. I think that's the opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, he had 40 more shots on goal than anyone else. So I said that you should pick up the phone and call Josh Kennedy.
Yeah.
Josh Kennedy, Ross. Did you think about it?
I know, yeah. I really, to be honest, I thought it was a bit of left field thinking creative, and then I really did like it. And then it's like, it's 6. If you break it down even further, what do you kick 50 goals for the year or 44? For 6 games, that's 12 goals. It's 2 a week. I reckon we can find 2 a week, right? Yeah. So I sort of did it that way. But I did like the thinking. I was like, yeah, I should pick up the phone. But probably where we're at, like we're 12th and 12th. We need to develop, a system and some young talent, and probably find out about a few, to be honest, on our list, because there's a number there that you think, geez, are you exposed, or you played 20 games, and can you step up? We're a little bit thin in the, as we know, in the key position ranks, but we just got to work through it, to be honest. So, but it's a challenge, right? I'll admit that.
Do you watch much of the World game? Because it's pretty clear where a lot of our tactics have come from, just looking the way the ball is moved and the lines across the back half, etc. And we were just having a chat to one of our callers who spoke about an old Italian style of playing, everybody behind the ball, and you just basically charge forward.
Well, we'll go to that and the press. No, I do. I really like it. Like, I grew up in Reservoir, and every school lunchtime was soccer, right?
Yep.
So that's what, the World Games. So, and you're right, the tactical, the press has been involved and the basketball press, but, press has been around since like Clarko 08, the Saints 9, and Pius 10 probably. So, and then, there's different styles though, but that press, because, they can't, there's no uncontested mark to take the pressure off. So unless you're highly skilled and control the ball, the press, you just turn it over and they go, right? So, look, and you see there's a lot of that control of the ball, the shape of the ground. Everyone talks about shape and outlet passes and replacement. So, look, you can identify a lot in it. And I was out at dinner the other week with a high-level world game coach, and he spoke about it as well. So there's no doubt a lot's been taken from different invasion sports around the world. But that stand mark has taken us back to our game of go forward quickly and go to the contest. And, I'm glad contested ball is now a dominant KPI again. Like, Geelong really ripped Sydney apart with contested ball plus 50 in the grand final. And they got rewarded for that. But in previous years, you probably haven't been rewarded for winning the ball because, the tackle and you could sweat off and then just control the ball and counterpunch. But now you get rewarded for it. So, it's quite interesting.
So we're going to see fast footy under Ross Lyon?
Yeah. Look, I think there's you need more than one gear. But, we've certainly... Look, I don't think we're the quickest, but we've got really good endurance athletes. And look, there's no criticism, and clearly none, because I've been out of the game for 3 years. But we were a control shape team, second for uncontested marks in the back half, and in the top two for uncontested marks around the ground. Right. So at the end of the day, I think the trend has been to go forward more quickly. The uncontested and control game is disappearing. There's times you need it, either through injury or time of the game, or you're under pressure. But fundamentally, that shape and control and uncontested mark game is. And look, Geelong were the trendsetter, weren't they? They found that balance of go forward to the contest. So, we're training it. And I stuck to my word. I threw the whiteboard to the coaches and said, you guys come up with what you think, and then we'll just fine-tune it together. And to be honest, I thought there might have been an 80-20. They do 80%. But Corey Enright's been really impressive on the team defence side, leaning on the stoppage, and Robert Harvey on the ball use. So, look, I hardly tweaked anything. I really like what they come up with. We were a stoppage-dependent team. We want to improve our turnover use because, you can't rely on stoppage. I've coached teams like that, and it's too easy to negate in the big game. So, we like to be a go-forward team, use our run, be a pressure team. I've never coached perfection. We like a bit of chaos, and I think it will suit us, right? So I'm pretty excited about it. But, look, we've been 12th and 12th for a reason. We're realistic. Where, in the short term, we want to improve as quick as we can. I think there's room for development on the list. And then in the longer term, we know we need to build our spine and capability. And we went for the draft. We went to the draft heavily this year, and we went the year before. We loved Wynn, Hager and Owens. But prior to that, for a variety of reasons, which is well documented, and I can see the criticism, but, 2 picks inside 30 in 3 drafts was concerning, but there was a reason for that, and the club wanted to be competitive. But I think we've got to move away from that. Like Mateus Philippou, who's really exciting. Dan S has been impressive. Young Key, I coach Trent Houghton, his dad, so I got Ollie Houghton in. He's a really exciting player. And, we've got Isaac Keeler that, did some incredible things on the track early. He reminds me of Paddy Ryder with respect. So we want to keep going to the draft, and we want to attract some real quality free agents as well by creating some salary cap room at some point.
So that being said, you've just lost your list manager, James Gallagher, it was cited family reasons, but I'm sure there were some performance reasons there as well. Ross, how involved will you be in finding a replacement, or is that not your portfolio?
Well, not really. There's Jeff Walsh is very experienced, and really he came to me. Look, what we did do when we come in, I wanted to understand processes, and I said to him, I got nothing to do with selection. I'm just interested in the best process. And that will take care of the outcome. And then in the background, Jeff was having some conversations with James because he was had some family concerns, and wanted to live in Adelaide with his family, and they had some conversations, and James really, after 4 years, probably exhausted. There was a lot of pressure on him. There was a lot of criticism of him, even though he did some good things, and he really made the call, and Jeff informed me of that, I reckon, late last week, which sort of surprised me a little bit, but from there I was like, okay, I'm the coach and we'll move on. So Jeff Walsh is in the background. He had a meeting with Simon Lethling today that I wasn't in, trying to plan out the way forward here. So there's the obvious names like Jason Cripps at Port. A lot of St Kilda people have mooted him. There's a link with me with Stephen Silvani, but I can honestly say until today I hadn't had one conversation with him about it. But I think they'll be sounding out those guys and working through the candidates. So, there's the Kinnear Beatsons of the world. But a lot of them will be probably signed, sealed and delivered, I would think. I think it's pretty late in the piece. So, but we owe a duty to the club because it's been in an area that's, probably over 10 years it hasn't been awesome, so we want to improve it. So let's run a process.
Well, there's the music, Ross, which means we've got to wrap it up. I was actually watching the 2009 Grand Final 2 nights ago. You mentioned unfinished business. I reckon he was stiff. Adam Snyder running into goal was dragged in. You didn't get the free kick, so maybe next time round you'll get the 50-50s.
Thanks, Gerard. You're always positive with me. I appreciate it. Thanks, Kane.